Welcome back, I'm the Watch Nerd. On this video, I'm very excited. We're going to go back for another hunt for steel. But right before I put you on the footage, I do want to keep reminding you of my Chanel chain giveaway. I'm going to be giving out this chain as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to be entered, there's the 4 steps in the description below.
Now, first flipping ourselves around, you get to see two Datejust 41s, and actually, it's pretty cool that I took a picture of it. It's not the best picture, but because it is a little bit cut off on that edge, but the Datejust factory diamond was put on hold for a person to come pick it up, so it's pretty cool. And the other one is still available for purchase, but very cool that while I was there, it was bought. And I this is going to be more of a conversation hunt for steel. I don't have anything, extremely cool to show you in this video, but I do want to talk kind of about the aftermath of this Rolex release, the 2021 release, because it's pretty important. And the AD was telling me some stories, and it's pretty kind of truly amazing how many people came in and asked about the Explorer 2. Like never before, they used to ask about the Explorer 2. The Submariner is the type of thing where people would come and ask, and now it's all about the Explorer 2 until the release. Also, people were buying Cellinis, and people never bought the Cellini line before the actual theories about the Cellini line ending, a new dress line coming in, and a guy came in and he bought a moon phase. He paid full retail for a Cellini moon phase. That is crazy, they were telling me. And they bought another Cellini. There was a few Cellinis there. I didn't photograph them, but that's just one story. We're going to talk about really my thoughts and what I talked about with the AD. I'm going to throw some pictures up while we talk, though. So here is just another piece, 3 pieces, I should say. And honestly, they had probably more than the. I didn't go to the other AD today. It was a little bit crushed for time, so it's just this one. But this is more of a talking one where I really talk to you guys and tell you what's happening at these official dealers and what collectors are really thinking. Now, of course, the Explorer 2 was the big hype, and typically ADs will sell Explorer 2s. It's even before the 50th anniversary, even before all this a few years ago, they would pretty much sell all of them. I wouldn't think you can walk into an AD and get offered an Explorer 2, either white or black face, which I do prefer the white. But he was telling me, even with all the hype, not maybe this last year, but 2019, 2020, before the pandemic, a bit before that, you can go into an AD, especially like this one, and you can ask, I want to say a wife wanted to buy a watch for their husband. This was, his story. He was telling me, and he would just, give them the Explorer 1, the 39, I should say, the Explorer. It's not the Explorer 1, it's the original Explorer, just called the Explorer. And he would give it to them, and pretty much that one didn't have a major waiting list. Only recently, of course, it got really big. And I think, well, I was talking to them about it, but they definitely think the 39 millimeter size was perfect. It was a low key watch. It didn't even, it wasn't a Rolex, in the sense of a flashy watch at all. Only recently they put that white gold indices. I mean, recently, but like the last, what, 20 years or so, they started using white gold in the dial. Or maybe no, I think it was a bit before that. But that's the only part of the dial that's white gold. They don't even have that coronet like the OPs do. The OPs, I think, are a little bit more flashy, especially the 41 millimeter. And now at 36, it's strange. I love vintage Rolex. I really do love vintage. But if I'm gonna buy a modern Rolex, I believe, and I told myself I'm gonna buy a modern size, even though it's very cool and everything, but just not one of the pieces I want. And the AD was telling me, yeah, it's not like the demand the 39 was with these particular pieces. They didn't, of course, get any of the new watches in. They told me they didn't get anything in since last time on Hunt for Steel. So, it's not like they have these watches available, like I'm saying. But we did, have a little discussion on the new pieces. And there's other key points. The meteorite dials, though, I think that is the coolest part, especially that ceramic with the oyster flex. Probably that's going to be the hot piece of this whole release. That will be the one that will be like, even though it's white gold, even though it's like 35,000 something retail, that will be the hot watch. And I feel that in the AD even, I was talking to them. They're very nice. They have a chat with me while I, take a few pictures. I didn't take even of the whole store this time. As you can see here, this is typically what you'll be greeted with. You get these women date just I believe these are 31, 34, something like that. And they've gone up in price. I was listening to when people come in, I sit there, they come in and then I talk to the AD when the stores, when the people leave. So I'm there a long time. I'm there maybe an hour, every week at least. Some people go even more, but I don't want to bother them too much. And when I see people come into the AD, the way they act, it sometimes just amazes me. A lot of the times they're polite, they're nice people, but other times they're like, "What do you mean I can't get it? What do you mean there's a list? You're not understanding, blah blah blah." Like, Karens, honestly. It's like these like people, and it's women too. It's not just the guys that are in watches. I see it all the time. And you got to feel for the AD. I get it. They make a fortune. All ADs and even the secondhand dealers. I don't think that they're losing out. Everybody makes money on these watches because us consumers, we pay for it. And I don't mind that at all on the retail side. I get it. They got their Rolex AD license. They deserve the money that because they're selling us a watch. And at the same time, there's a whole debate about the secondhand dealers being there, the flippers taking advantage of the ADs. That's not right, but that's a different story altogether. I just want to stay really on uh, the new releases. So there's people coming in asking about this and that on the new releases, and it's just crazy. And believe it or not, with all the new stuff with Rolex, you see it everywhere, all the time, and they come in, and the number one thing they ask over everything else is the 41 millimeter Oyster Perpetual. Over everything. I saw three people ask about the OP, a few on the GMT Master, but the Oyster Perpetual was probably the most talked about in that, that I only have an hour to talk about, and they're open a lot longer than that. But in this hour, I'm sitting there and listening to the conversations, and almost, there's three that was the major talking point that they asked them to be on the list. But I think everybody mentioned the OP, and that really shows what a good release is. Now, as you can see here, this is the day date. I thought this was new, but definitely not. You saw this in the case before. This is just in another angle. But going back to what I was saying, the 41 OP made such an impact with those Stella dials, and we don't see an impact this year. Maybe Rolex, maybe they weren't trying to do that. Maybe it was supposed to be a lower key year. But at the same time, I even asked the AD, I said, how do you to sell this watch for 11 grand? The two-toned Explorer. I said, what you have to be a specific taste to get that watch at retail, and it's just very, very interesting because I'm like, you can go buy a Submariner. It would be hard pushing it, but if you went to the pre-ceramic Submariners, I'm talking early 2000s, You can get them around the 11, 12,000 mark. For the same price, you can get the the Explorer One with the two-tone, and that just boggles my mind. Here, this is the outside case actually, and I was looking through walking out after I went in there. This is the probably the blingiest date just you can buy at retail. Of course, Rolex doesn't factory bracelet them unless it's gold. They will on the Pearl Master and things like that. But in a regular date just form, I believe this is 36 because it's date just. Um, there's no other blingier piece. Just look at it. You got the bezel that's factory and the face. I didn't even ask the price. I just saw it on the way out, of course, but and took a picture just to show you. It's cool, the white face. Way too blingy though, not for me. And that's really where I want to leave it here. We talked about the new watches at the AD, and I told you about my conversation. Not you don't I don't think it has to be everything crazy every time. Last hunt for steel was very cool because I got both sport models I showed you at an AD. And this is where I want to leave it here looking at this one. Such an interesting piece. You know, it went full circle with the Datejust with that factory stuff because it started as gold, solid gold. They didn't put diamonds, then they went to stainless steel. Then the Day got more, and now it's all that. Just very very cool and interesting. I like that. If I saw somebody wearing that, I would give them the head nod. I would say congratulations for buying a factory piece, because those are just awesome. And very few people could say that they bought a factory piece like that. But that's it. This is my conclusion, and that's where I want to leave it here. If you do want to win the Chanel chain giveaway, there's the 4 steps in the description below. And I want to wish everybody a fantastic day. If you did like this video, I'd love to hear it in the comments down below. And I would also love to hear, what are your thoughts on these new watches? What do you think? Have you been to your official dealer and talked about the new watches with them? Because I always think it's fun. Some ADs won't even talk to you about the stuff, but typically the ADs I've came across, some of them are reluctant to talk. Some of them are just annoyed with the people bothering them all day, and they have the right to be annoyed because us as watch enthusiasts, we want our stainless steel pieces, and some of us get mad, and it's a fact of life. I think you should never get mad at your official dealer because they don't have a stainless steel piece. I don't think. Look, if you getting mad, you think you're going to have a higher chance. That's not how ADs work. It's just not. An AD will, give you a piece if they like you, if and B, most importantly, you're on the list. They've known you for a very long time, and C, some official dealers sadly will. Um, do it because you have a buying history. It all depends on which one. And I say sadly because I don't think you should have to pay for a watch you don't like uh, for a watch that you like, if that makes sense, but it does. I am dragging this out though. I would love to chat with you all day, but this is where I want to leave this hunt for steel. A little more laid back, a little more chill one. But I will definitely catch you all in the next one. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.